Solo Leveling episode 10 is here, so let's talk about it. Also, I've said it before, I'll probably say it again, but shout out to Mr. Pay to Win. I just love this recurring bit. Alrighty, y'all. First things first, can we get a round of applause for my girl Juhi here? She was on game before anyone else. She liked our boy before the Riz, before the abs, before it was cool, okay? So, moment of appreciation, real recognize real. But let's get into the actual episode. And as has been kind of par for the course with this show, we kind of have like a more intense action heavy episode and then a little bit of a slower episode. And this was a little bit of a slower one, but I still really enjoyed it. So let's get into the big things. So first up, I just love the tease for the strength level of S rank heroes, described as either miracles or calamities. And Jinwoo was basically warned saying like, hey, if this dude's coming after you, you need to leave the country because there's nothing like law enforcement or the government can do. S rank heroes are that strong. And I actually saw a really cool quote from somebody that works on the show, and forgive me for not being able to remember exactly who it was, but they were talking about how for the animation they have like been actively thinking about how to escalate things as Jinwoo levels up. And so like how to make the S rank heroes look that much cooler and stronger in the animation. So, we're starting out the show. Jinwoo is E rank. I think he's between B and A in this episode, they said right now. So I've already enjoyed the action animation scenes that we've seen. So that just really got me excited for some of the higher level fights we are going to see. So the majority of this episode was Jinwoo just cranking through the C rank dungeons to level up, and I actually really enjoyed the way they did this montage. The score, the soundtrack to this moment was so good, and I've just noticed throughout the whole show so far, the music has been really on point. So Jinwoo's trying to level up, and level up he did. I've talked about it before, but of course I love the video game aspects of this entire series, and here we've got a few new skills, right? The first of which is the stealth skill, which he didn't pick up from leveling up, but instead got from Kang in the previous episode. And just how cool but also dark is that you can literally like kill people and attain their skills, which is also playing into the fact, is Jinwoo kind of losing his humanity as he levels up and gets more powerful like this? A little bit more on that later. But the other skills that he picked up were two dagger skills. Just his general dagger wielding in general improved. And then also he got like a deadly strike, which is a critical strike basically. But most excitingly from the leveling up is he unlocked a new quest, a job change quest. So we didn't actually get to see what that was in this episode, but I'm very excited for this. I'm not going to spoil it for those of you that haven't read the manhwa, but we're coming close to an iconic moment in this story. Other than that, it was a very brief moment, but I loved this kind of nightmare flashback to Jeju Island that we got to see. This is something that wasn't in the manhwa. Again, I've talked about this before, but the anime is adapting the light novel version of Solo Leveling, not the manhwa webcomic version, and that is what I read. So getting to see these scenes that were from the light novel is new to me, and so it's really cool seeing stuff that I haven't seen before. Also, again, it was super short, but I just loved the aesthetic of this nightmare. It was so like visceral. And then finally we have this moment where Jinwoo is approached and offered by another guild, as this man has been investigating him because he can clearly tell something strange is going on, right? And speaking to Jinwoo's humanity and if he may be shedding any of it, I loved this moment. It was another one of those in the manhwa where I really got invested a level deeper into the story. Because, a lot of times with main characters like this, they will be paragons of justice, right? So I really like kind of the dark twist here. It's like, hey, was Jinwoo really about to take this guy out if he like threatened his secret? We don't really know, right? Could it have just been a veiled threat to get what he wanted and he wasn't actually going to go through with it? The cut on the cheek was just like a bluff, or was he willing to go that far already? We've seen him take people out, but they've always been evil people, if you will, right? This guy hasn't done anything wrong. So I really liked just kind of this interesting character arc of kind of, is Jinwoo bluffing or is he kind of tipping over to the dark side? So that's again, no spoilers, but yeah. Anyways, y'all know the drill by this point. I want to know your thoughts on this episode and your thoughts on the show in general now that we are officially 10 episodes deep. So be sure to let me know in the comments, and I will see y'all in the next one.